show your screen also, please?
I hope it's visible.
Yes, it is.
So SQL transformation is used to process the rows as we can as what we can do in actual SQL. Okay.
Okay.
Similarly, if you are asked a question that what is a sorter transformation, then you will be explaining them that sorter transformation is used to sort the data. We can sort the data either in ascending or descending order.
Mm-hmm.
Now, an important question. Sorter is an active transformation or a passive transformation? Tell me. So, Mirza, in sorter transformation, we have capability of suppressing duplicate records in the source. Okay?
Uh,
That's why
this is Mirza. Yes. Uh,
so why sorter transformation is an active transformation? Because it can suppress the duplicate records coming from source, okay?
uh-huh.
And the definition of active transformation is the transformation which changes the transaction boundary, the number of rows passing through it, or the type of row. Remember these 3 points. They should be on your
Yes. Yes.
fingertips.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So what is sorter doing here? It is changing the number of rows since it is suppressing duplicates which are coming from source. Okay?
Okay.
So let's do a quick revision. Aggregator is active and connected. Why aggregator is active? Because it is changing number of rows passing through it.
So, yes.
It is used to do all the group by operations. And in group by operations, we know that the number of rows can be changed based on the duplicate values on which we are aggregating upon. So that's why it is active and it is connected. Expression is active or passive?
Expression is passive.
Correct. Connected or unconnected?
Connected.
Correct. Filter is active or passive?
Filter is active
Why?
because you can say more like you can sort out the data and
No, not sort out. We can filter the data.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we can filter the data.
Okay. And filtering the data is gonna result into change in number of rows.
Yes.
Joiner is active or passive? Mirza, joiner active है या passive है?
Joiner is also um, active
Why?
because joiner also you can do like all the join like it.
In
So when
joiner,
you
in
do the
joiner, in joiner, what we are doing is we are joining our master with detail table. So
yes,
number of records that will pass out of joiner will depend on the joining condition. This way, joiner
condition.
is able to perform change in number of rows.
Yes.
That's why joiner is an active transformation. Lookup is active or passive?
Lookup is in from nine and versions like it's both it's active and passive.
Both active and passive. We can choose of as
Yes.
per our convenience. So let's say there can be a question from lookup. Uh, let's say I have an employee ID 110 corresponding to 110. I have three records as a result of my lookup transformation. In those three records, I am having values A, B, and C. So which value will be passed from lookup as a result? I'm giving you option, whichever will come first, whichever will come last, or any value at random.
No. Which one you will match ID?
Let's say I want to fetch out the grades corresponding to employee ID 110, but I have three records in my lookup table corresponding to employee ID 110. The grades are A, B, and C. So which one will be passed to our target as a result if we are using lookup as a passive transformation?
Then
The options are
you load ABC. Yes.
the options are first, whichever row will come first will get returned. Second option is whichever row will come last will get returned. Third option is whichever row at random. बताओ. Try to answer it. I'm giving you 1 minute,
Yes,
and then I'm gonna explain you.
I think which one will come first?
You think that whichever will come first will get returned.
Yes,
Why?
because is scan row by row.
Correct.
So
So that's a correct answer. I was not expecting it, but bravo. So Mirza, the concept is whichever row ID will come first. Because when we query on a data set, we go by row IDs. So whichever physical address will come first will get returned. So any row at random will get returned. It is not necessary that A will come first, B will come second. It is not necessary. Okay. So the marks are not for the correct answer. The marks are for explanation.
yeah,
Okay. Normalizer is active or passive?
normalization transformation is
I'll brief you about it. Normalizer performs the unpivot operation. It is used to unpivot the COBOL files.
then it's active
Correct.
transform.
And it is connected. Rank is active or passive? Definitely
Rank is
active
active, yes.
and connected. Router is active or passive? Hurry up.
Router,
Just
router is
Mirza, keep those three
yes.
conditions on your tips. Ask yourself these three questions. Whenever someone asks you that whether a given transformation is active or passive, ask yourself these three questions. Is it changing the number of rows? Is it changing the transaction boundary? Is it changing the row type? If answer to all three of them is false, then a given transformation is for sure active.
Okay.
Sorry,
Router,
answer of any of these three questions is true, then a transformation is said to be active. So router is a active transformation because it is also changing number of rows. It is used to create, it is used to route the data in different groups.
yeah. And SQL transformation is almost same, right? It's
No.
no.
Stored procedure transformation is passive transformation since we can use stored procedure in our DQL, data query language. So stored procedure will just return a data set as its result. It will not modify any incoming data. It depends on the arguments that we are passing in stored procedure transformation. We can use it inside a expression also. So transaction control is the transformation which plays with transaction boundary. That's why it is active transformation. We can define that these particular rows are supposed to be committed in my target. That's why
Okay.
transaction control transformation is active transformation. What about union?
Union is also active.
Correct. Because it is changing the address of
Yeah.
rows.
Yeah. Mhm.
Let's say we are passing 10 rows to union from two different sources. It will it will combine those that data and generate new row IDs corresponding to them. It is not necessary that they will have same values of row IDs. What about update strategy? Active or passive and why?
Update strategy also is update. Yeah,
Remember
it's a,
second condition.
yes, it's active
Why?
uh, be, because it's changing also
It
uh,
is changing the row
the
type, not the number of
row type.
row type.
Mhm.
So remember these the important ones are transaction control, update strategy, and sorter.
Okay.
And lookup is of course the most important transformation from which interview questions will arrive. Now define a transformation. So transformation is a repository object that generates, modifies, or passes data. Okay.
Okay.
Conditions for active transformation. Revise them. Condition number one. Condition number one.
Oh,
How do we
it's
identify active transformation? Condition number one.
um,
Changing number of rows.
ch-
Condition number two.
changing.
Changing transaction boundary. Condition number three. Changing row type.
Mhm.
What about passive transformation? Define a passive. Let's say interviewer asks you to define a passive transformation. How will you define it? So passive transformation is the one which does not do what active transformation does. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, no. Okay. Mirza, you know the difference between connected and unconnected transformation. The transformations which are connected to the data flow are connected transformations, and the transformations which are not connected to other transformations in the mapping are unconnected transformations.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, Now we have some transformations in Informatica which are multi-group transformations. What are those? So the transactions which are having multiple inputs and output groups are multi-group transformations. So in source qualifier we can have multiple source definitions. So source qualifier is a multi-group transformation. In router we can have multiple groups. Router is a multi-group transformation. In joiner we have master and detail. It's a multi-group transformation. In union we can have multiple tables. That's why multi-group transformation. Clear?
Okay.
Now interviewer can ask you that what are the transformations in Informatica which can use cache? Think and answer. Give me
Yeah, it's a
at least three answers.
it's a lookup transformation number
Correct.
one.
Correct.
Then aggregated transformation,
Absolutely correct.
and then
You remember in joiner transformation we talk about storing the master table in data cache.
Yes.
So third is joiner
Joiner.
transformation. There are two more
Okay.
which are rank and sorter, which can
Okay.
use cache. Now they can ask that what is a blocking transformation? How will you answer that?
Blocking transformation?
hmm
No idea.
So there are some transformations in Informatica which blocks the input rows. So the examples are unsorted joiner and custom transformation. Okay.
Okay.
Mr. What I'll do, I have written all these questions and answers on my notebook. I was preparing this questions right yesterday.
Okay.
So I'll click a picture and I'll send it to you. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Now, uh, there was a question that those TCS guys asked us, what is a reusable transformation? How can we make a transformation reusable? So
Uh-huh.
what is a reusable transformation? Sorry, their question was, how can we make a session reusable? So the answer was, we can make a session reusable either in a task developer or in workflow manager itself, but making it reusable is irreversible. We cannot make it non-reusable again, okay?
Okay.
So define a reusable transformation. So creating a reusable transformation again can be done in transformation developer inside Informatica Designer, okay?
Uh-huh.
And the second way of doing it is making a non-reusable transformation to reusable. We can go to any mapping, choose any transformation and make it reusable. Okay? Not force qualifier, I guess. We can make a lookup reusable. We can make a like we can do it with multiple transformations. Like we want to make a sequence generator reusable. If you want to make use it in different mappings.
Okay.
So the option to promote a non-reusable transformation to reusable transformation is make reusable option. Write it down.
Yes.
You have
There's
seen
a
it.
checkbox.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
I know. But again, like if
Perfect.
the concept is the same. Like if any mapping you create as a reusable,
Mappings are
then
reusable always.
okay. But it is
Transformations inside that mapping can be changed into reusable later on.
okay.
Or
But
we can design, yeah,
my question to you, the same way, if any mapping, if
hmm
you can do mapping or transformation, if
hmm
you create as a reusable, you cannot reverse that, right? It's not reversible, right?
First of all, mapping is different than transformation. Let's talk
Okay.
about transformations only, and you are right.
Okay.
So कुछ ट्रांसफॉर्मेशंस ऐसी होती हैं जिन्हें हम सिर्फ रीयूजेबल ही क्रिएट कर सकते हैं, नॉन रीयूजेबल नहीं क्रिएट कर सकते. ऐसी एक ही ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन है, वो कौन सी है? That can be the good question. Think about it and answer me.
Um, say one more time.
हमने जितनी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशंस देखी उनमें से एक ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन ऐसी है जिसको हम सिर्फ रीयूजेबल ही क्रिएट कर सकते हैं, नॉन रीयूजेबल कभी क्रिएट कर ही नहीं सकते. ऐसी कौन सी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन है?
Oh, step procedure transformation?
Very, very near. It's external procedure transformation. Okay, write it down. Done?
External?
External procedure transformation.
Okay.
Now define a union transformation to me. How will you define a union transformation?
Okay.
अपनी लैंग्वेज में बोलो कुछ भी. सपोज इंटरव्यूअर ने पूछा यूनियन ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन क्या होता है, क्या बोलोगे आप उसको?
Okay. Basically, union transformation,
हमने यूनियन ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन यूज किया था ना मिर्जा. वी कैन मर्ज डेटा
yes,
फ्रॉम डिफरेंट डिफरेंट सोर्सेस. कितने सोर्सेस हो
sources.
सकते हैं? कितने भी हो सकते हैं, मल्टीपल सोर्सेस.
Yes.
So how we will answer this is a union transformation is used to merge data from different sources, multiple sources. अब उसका नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन हो सकता है कि यूनियन ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन क्या करता है, यूनियन करता है या यूनियन ऑल? यूनियन और यूनियन ऑल में क्या डिफरेंस होता है, पहले तो ये बताओ.
Okay. Whenever you do the union, that means like say example, table A and table B, just matching column will be fetched by union. Whenever you do the union all from table A and table B, all the data will be fetched out.
Incorrect. Try again.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, that's all I know about the union.
Okay. So मिर्जा यूनियन और यूनियन ऑल में सबसे मेजर डिफरेंस ये होता है कि यूनियन में डुप्लीकेट वैल्यूज नहीं आती. ओके. और यूनियन
Okay.
ऑल में डुप्लीकेट वैल्यूज भी आती हैं. लेट्स से मेरे पास
Okay.
टेबल ए में डेटा है 1 2 3, टेबल बी में डेटा है 2 3 4. अगर यूनियन करेंगे तो क्या आएगा? 1 2 3 4. अगर यूनियन ऑल करेंगे तो क्या आएगा? 1 2 3 2 3 4.
Okay.
गॉट इट?
Yeah.
और यूनियन ऑल की को यूज करते टाइम पे सेम ही कंडीशन रहती है. जो दो सोर्सेज हम यूनियन या यूनियन ऑल कर रहे हैं उनके डेटा टाइप्स मैच होने चाहिए. इट डजंट मैटर कि उनके कॉलम्स का नाम क्या है, उनके डेटा टाइप्स एक सीक्वेंस में मैच होने चाहिए. लाइक फर्स्ट वन इज वेरकेयर, सेकंड वन इज नंबर, थर्ड वन इज लेट्स से समथिंग एल्स, केयर. तो सेम डेटा टाइप्स होने चाहिए दूसरे वाले सोर्स के भी इसी सीक्वेंस में, वेरकेयर, नंबर एंड केयर. ओके.
Okay.
So it brings us to what are the guidelines to be followed while using union transformation. So I will tell you the guidelines one by one. So first one is these things we need to take care while creating a union transformation. We can create multiple input groups but only one output group. Okay. All the input groups and output groups must be having matching ports. जो मैंने अभी बात की ना मैचिंग पोर्ट्स की, varchar, नंबर, केयर, ऐसे मैचिंग पोर्ट्स होने चाहिए डेटा टाइप्स के पर्सपेक्टिव में. The precision, data type and scale must be identical across all the groups.
Okay.
Suppose मैं n number of groups create कर रहा हूँ, what I need to take care is that the precision, data type and scale of each and every member should be same. अब अपना पहले वाला इंटरव्यू क्वेश्चन याद करो, यूनियन ऑल करता है यूनियन या फिर यूनियन करता है? तो इसका आंसर है यूनियन ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन ऑलवेज डज यूनियन ऑल, इट डज नॉट रिमूव डुप्लीकेट वैल्यूज. तो फिर नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन आएगा कि डुप्लीकेट वैल्यूज को कैसे रिमूव करूं मैं? फिर आइदर राउटर या फिल्टर यूज करो या एग्रीगेट कर लो उनको. दैट्स हाउ यू कैन रिमूव डुप्लीकेट वैल्यूज. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज कैन वी यूज ए सीक्वेंस जनरेटर और अपडेट स्ट्रेटेजी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन as an input to union transformation? The answer is no, we cannot. we have to put the sequence values in an expression and then we can use that inside a union, not the other way around. We cannot use sequence generator directly connected to union transformation. Okay,
Okay.
and union transformation will not generate any transactions. Okay, तो
Okay.
इससे आपको क्या पता चला, यूनियन ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन एक्टिव है या पैसिव है?
Union transformation is active.
Correct. Union transformation is active transformation because it combines two or more data streams into one. Although the total number of rows passing into union is same as total number of rows passing out of it. तो हमारा पहले वाला कंडीशन मैच नहीं होता, नंबर ऑफ रोज नहीं चेंज होते, but it changes the sequence of rows from any given input stream. Okay?
Okay.
The positions of rows are not preserved. Okay?
Okay.
तो जो पहले अपने सोर्स में जिसका रो आईडी सबसे लोवेस्ट था, जो सबसे पहले आ रहा था, इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी कि वो बाद में भी सबसे पहले ही आएगा. यूनियन इज गोना चेंज इट. Now let's discuss a little bit about transaction control. Okay?
Okay.
मेरे भाई सारे क्वेश्चन आप लिखते भी जा रहे हो ना साथ में, या फिर ये वीडियो सुन के फिर से आप शांति से बैठ के लिख लेना?
Yes, like I will listen this video and then I will do it.
Okay. ट्रांजैक्शन कंट्रोल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन की डेफिनेशन पूछ सकता है, तो इट्स a transformation which is used to unpivot the data. A transaction is a set of rows. Sorry, transaction control is different. That was normalizer. Let's come to transaction control. Transaction control is a set of rows bound by a transaction boundary, either commit or rollback. So transaction control is transaction control is used to change that transaction boundary. It is used to either commit or roll back a group of rows. Okay.
Okay.
So what is the commit type if you have a transaction control in a mapping? So commit type will always be user defined. सेशन लेवल पे कमिट टाइप होता है ना, उसको हमेशा यूजर डिफाइंड मार्क करना है, तभी ट्रांजैक्शन कंट्रोल यूज कर पाएंगे. अनदर रेड लाइट. ओके.
Okay.
Next, what are the different transaction levels that we can use in transaction control? So one is TC continue, TC commit after, TC commit before, TC rollback before, and TC rollback after.
Okay.
कमिट और रोलबैक मैंने आपको अच्छे से लिखवाया था, अपना थर्ड लेक्चर देखना, जब डेटाबेस के बेसिक्स बताए थे ना आपको, उसमें मैंने आपको बताया था कमिट क्या होता है. कमिट इज यूज्ड टू कमिट ए ट्रांजैक्शन, रोलबैक इज यूज्ड टू रोलबैक ए ट्रांजैक्शन. Whatever is written in our redo or an undo log, commit will commit them to the database. So what? Let's talk about each one of these options. First is TC continue transaction. So in this option, the integration service does not perform any transaction change for this row. Whatever is the default will go as it is. TC commit before will begin a new transaction and write the current row to the target. The current row becomes the new transaction. TC commit after is used to commit. Sorry, in this case, the integration service writes the current row into the target, just like TC commit before, and then commits the transaction and begins a new transaction. So current row is committed transaction. Current row will be a part of committed transaction. Okay.
Okay.
Similarly, TC rollback before and TC rollback after. TC rollback before में क्या होगा, करंट रो अपने ट्रांजैक्शन का पार्ट नहीं होगी और उससे पहले वाली सारी रो रोलबैक हो जाएंगी. सिमिलरली TC रोलबैक आफ्टर, करंट रो ट्रांजैक्शन का पार्ट होगा और जितनी रोज इंसर्ट की उस पर्टिकुलर ग्रुप में सारी रोज रोलबैक हो जाएंगी. अच्छा, फोटर की परफॉर्मेंस, सॉरी, फोटर ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन यूज करके किसी पर्टिकुलर सेशन की परफॉर्मेंस कैसे इंप्रूव कर सकते हैं? एग्रीगेटर या जॉइनर से पहले फोटर यूज करके, और एग्रीगेटर या जॉइनर में फोटर यूज करेंगे तो परफॉर्मेंस कैसे इंप्रूव होगा, ये मैंने आपको बताया हुआ है। अगर फोर्टेड इनपुट होगा तो नंबर ऑफ आईओस कम होंगे, नंबर ऑफ इनपुट्स एंड आउटपुट्स टू द डिस्क, राइट?
Yes.
So that will improve the performance. अच्छा, एक्सप्रेशन ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन की बात करें, सबसे इजी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन लगता है दिखने में, बट सारे कॉम्प्लेक्स ऑपरेशन हम एक्सप्रेशन ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन में कर सकते हैं। So an expression transformation is used to calculate values in a single row. Expression transformation is passive and connected transformation. अच्छा, एक क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे कि हम सीक्वेंस नंबर्स कैसे जनरेट करें एक्सप्रेशन ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन यूज करके। ये एक सिनेरियो बेस्ड क्वेश्चन हो गया, इसका क्या आंसर होगा? इसका आंसर होगा कि हम एक वेरिएबल बनाएंगे एक्सप्रेशन ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन में और उसकी वैल्यू 1 से इंक्रीमेंट करते जाएंगे। शायद मैंने आपकी पीसी पे किया भी था। एक वेरिएबल बनाएंगे काउंटर एंड वी विल असाइन दैट काउंटर द वैल्यू ऑफ काउंटर +1। मुझे जैसे अलजेब्रा में होता है ना,
Yes, yes.
लेट सपोज देयर इज ए
Or
वेरिएबल x, द वैल्यू ऑफ x इज 5। इफ वील से x इक्वल टू x+1, तो वेरिएबल की वैल्यू क्या हो गई अब? 6। So same way we can use expression transformation to generate a sequence. Expression transformation में बहुत सारे scenario based questions बनते हैं। Let's say we have an employee table having employee IDs and their salaries. Okay? तो ऐसे क्वेश्चन बन सकते हैं कि किसी एम्प्लॉय के कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग उसकी क्यूमुलेटिव सैलरी कैलकुलेट करो, किसी एम्प्लॉय के कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग उसका इनकम टैक्स कैलकुलेट करो। इसको कैसे करेंगे? नए पोर्ट बनाएंगे और वहां पर एग्जिस्टिंग पोर्ट्स की वैल्यू यूज करेंगे और चीजें कैलकुलेट करेंगे। ओके?
okay.
There is one important thing that we need to take care of. हम एक्सप्रेशन में सिर्फ इनपुट पोर्ट्स और वेरिएबल पोर्ट्स को यूज कर सकते हैं। जो प्योरली आउटपुट पोर्ट्स है ना, उनको किसी एक्सप्रेशन में यूज नहीं कर सकते। लेट्स सपोज आपने कोई आउटपुट पोर्ट बनाया एक्स को वैल्यू असाइन कर दी 5। अब कोई दूसरा वेरिएबल पोर्ट बनाया, उस वेरिएबल पोर्ट में आप एक्स की वैल्यू यूज करना चाहते हो, यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू यूज इट। सो एक्सप्रेशन में हम सिर्फ इनपुट पोर्ट्स और वेरिएबल पोर्ट्स को यूज कर सकते हैं। ओके?
Okay.
काफी सारे क्वेश्चन कवर हो गए ना आज। आपने मुझे टाइम दिया, मैंने प्रिपेयर कर लिए क्वेश्चन।
That's good, bhai.
So let's say a generic question. What is a lookup transformation? So a lookup transformation is a transformation which is used to look up data in a flat file, relational table, a view, or a synonym. Basically, it is used to look up the data. Okay? So what are the different ways in which a lookup transformation can be used? It can be used to get a related value from the lookup table based on the value in source. It can be used to perform a calculation based on the retrieved value, and it can be used to implement SCD1 and SCD2. It can be used to implement slowly changing dimensions. Very important. So what are the different configurations of a lookup? It can be a relational lookup or a flat file lookup. It can be a connected or an unconnected lookup. It can be cached or a uncached lookup. It can be static or a dynamic lookup. There is one more application of, there is one more type of lookup transformation that we don't use. A lookup can be used as a pipeline lookup. When we are using JMS, MSSQ or SAP data sources, in those cases it is used as a pipeline lookup. You don't need to remember this one. अच्छा, अनकनेक्टेड और कनेक्टेड लुकअप में क्या डिफरेंस होगा? कनेक्टेड लुकअप कनेक्टेड होगा, अनकनेक्टेड लुकअप अनकनेक्टेड होगा. अदर देन दैट, एक कनेक्टेड लुकअप में हम चूज कर सकते हैं वेदर इट इज कैश्ड और अनकैश्ड, पर अनकनेक्टेड लुकअप हमेशा कैश्ड लुकअप होगा. रिमेंबर. So it retrieves source data, performs a lookup, and returns the data into the pipeline, the connected lookup. An unconnected lookup is called by using a LKP function. We write it like this: colon LKP in brackets whatever input values we are expecting as an input to the lookup transformation.
Okay.
Let's talk more about the differences. So connected lookup transformation receives input values directly from the pipeline. Unconnected lookup transformation receives values as a result of colon LKP expression, like we discussed. Okay.
Okay.
Now there is one more property of connected lookup. It can be configured as dynamic or static cache, but unconnected lookup can only be configured of using a static cache. Connected lookup transformation can return multiple columns from the same row or insert into the dynamic lookup cache. अब डायनेमिक लुकअप कैश होती कनेक्टेड लुकअप के पास है, तो दिस इज डिफरेंस बिटवीन कनेक्टेड एंड अनकनेक्टेड लुकअप. अनकनेक्टेड लुकअप ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन कैन रिटर्न ओनली वन कॉलम फ्रॉम ईच रो. सपोज मुझे एम्प्लॉय के कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग उसका फर्स्ट नेम भी चाहिए, लास्ट नेम भी चाहिए, मिडिल नेम भी चाहिए. आई कैन रिटर्न ऑल थ्री वैल्यूज फ्रॉम ए कनेक्टेड लुकअप, बट अनकनेक्टेड लुकअप में मैं सिर्फ एक ही वैल्यू रिटर्न कर पाता हूं. इसको अचीव करने के लिए मैं क्या कर सकता हूं? अनकनेक्टेड लुकअप में कॉन्केटिनेशन कर सकता हूं फर्स्ट नेम, मिडिल नेम और लास्ट नेम का, और वो एक कंबाइंड रो रिटर्न कर सकता हूं. इस तरह से मैं मल्टीपल रोज रिटर्न कर सकता हूं अनकनेक्टेड लुकअप से.
Okay.
अच्छा, क्या होगा जब लुकअप कंडीशन मैच नहीं करेगी? उस केस में कनेक्टेड लुकअप ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन विल रिटर्न डिफॉल्ट वैल्यूज फॉर ऑल आउटपुट पोर्ट्स. एंड इफ वी हैव कॉन्फ़िगर्ड डायनेमिक कैशे, then the integration service will insert rows into cache or levels. But unconnected lookup में ऐसा नहीं होगा. Unconnected lookup null return करेगा. Okay?
Okay.
बहुत ज्यादा हो गया, नहीं हुआ? मिर्जा, listen to this again and again, and इनमें से आप कोई 4 पॉइंट भी, 3 पॉइंट भी बोल देते हो ना, तो that is enough.
Okay.
Try to remember any 3 of them. जैसे static dynamic cache वाला you can remember. You can remember that a unconnected lookup can only return one value at a time. ये एक दो डिफरेंसेस आपको याद रखने हैं हमेशा.
Okay.
उसके अलावा जो अपना डिफरेंसेस अपन जब देखे थे, मैंने बोला था कि मल्टीपल वैल्यूज कैसे रिटर्न करूं मैं अनकनेक्टेड लुकअप से. From version 9 onwards, there is a lookup policy on multiple match. This option is there in the lookups. So we can check this option to determine which rows that lookup transformation returns, and when it finds multiple rows, then what will be returned. We can select lookup to return the first or last row or any matching row, or we can select to return an error, whatever we want. Okay.
Okay.
लुकअप में एक ऑप्शन होता है मिर्जा, that option is output old value on update. ये ऑप्शन तब यूज कर सकते हैं जब अपन ने डायनेमिक कैशे इनेबल्ड कर रखा है। तो जब
Okay.
अपन ने
Is
हाँ
usually by default it will it's like a dynamic, right?
नहीं, इट विल बी स्टैटिक बाय डिफॉल्ट। डायनेमिक लुकअप
Oh,
आपने यूज नहीं किया, मैंने भी बहुत कम यूज किया।
okay.
So Google this thing, output old value on update. Okay, I'm writing it down for you. Read about it. मैं अभी आपको explain नहीं कर पाऊंगा। इसमें डाउट्स हो तो पूछ लेना, ठीक है?
Okay.
मिर्जा कुछ now a question arises that how the integration service will build caches for connected lookup transformation. So integration services builds the lookup caches for connected lookup transformation in following this. First is, write it down. First is sequential cache and second is concurrent caches. So in case of you have written it.
Uh-huh.
So in case of sequential cache, the IES builds a lookup cache sequentially.
Are you
IES,
recording this? I'm
yeah,
sorry.
it
Are
is
you
being,
recording?
yeah, it is being recorded.
Okay.
So the integration services builds the cache in memory when it processes the first row of the data in a cached lookup transformation. Now write down about concurrent caches.
Mhm.
So in this case, the integration services builds lookup caches concurrently. It does not need to wait for data to reach lookup transformation.
Okay.
Hmm. You have written it down?
No,
Uh,
not
lis-
not.
listen to it and try to write it.
I,
Okay? Yeah. So अनकनेक्टेड लुकअप के केस में क्या होगा, एक और डिफरेंस, अनकनेक्टेड लुकअप के केस में हमेशा और हमेशा सिक्वेंशियली लुकअप कैसे बिल्ड होगा?
okay, there is no concurrent.
करेक्ट। अब हम डायनेमिक कैशे की बात कर रहे हैं। नाउ डिफाइन, लेट्स ट्राई टू डिफाइन डायनेमिक कैशे। सो डायनेमिक कैशे रिप्रेजेंट्स द डेटा इन द टारगेट. So integration services will build the cache when it processes the first lookup request. It queries the cache based on lookup condition for each row that passes through the transformation. Then the integration services will update the lookup cache as it passes rows into the target. क्योंकि टारगेट ही तो है जिस पर हम लुकअप कर रहे हैं। डायनेमिक लुकअप हम इसीलिए तो यूज कर रहे हैं बिकॉज वी वांट टू see what changes are happening in the target.
Uh-huh.
So based on this, the integration services either inserts the row in cache or it updates the existing row which is there in cache. Or if there is same kind of row coming from source, it will do nothing.
Okay.
Let me give you an example. Corresponding to customer 101, the name is Mirza. Let's say another record comes and corresponding to 101, the name is Salim. So what it will do, it will update that particular record to Salim. What if the record which came is Mirza again? Then it will do nothing. It will make no changes. What if a new customer ID comes? Let's say customer ID 102 comes. In this case, it will insert that new row in the lookup cache. समझ गए?
Nee, first of all, I'm sorry.
लेट्स से मेरे पास ये रिकॉर्ड है 101 के कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग माय नेम इज मिर्जा, ओके। मेरे पास एक और रो आई 101, अब इसके 101 के कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग द नेम इज सलीम। So what will happen is that cache will get updated. Now corresponding to 101, the row will be, sorry, the data will be Salim. अब सपोज ऐसा होता है कि 101 नहीं आता, 102 आता है, और 102 के corresponding the name is Jack. So what will happen? This new row will get inserted into dynamic lookup cache. I hope it is clear now. Yes, no, not clear yet. Please respond.
Actually,
Dynamic cache की बात कर रहे हैं. There is a pseudo column created in the lookup itself, which is called new lookup row. Write it down. New lookup row. ये सिर्फ डायनेमिक कैशे यूज करते हैं तब क्रिएट होता है. So the question can be, what can be the different values of a new lookup row port? So there can be three values: 0, 1 or 2.
yes, I know.
0 means कुछ नहीं करना. 101 मिर्जा फिर से आ गया, कुछ नहीं करना. 1 is 102 Jack आया. 102 is not there in the lookup cache already. So we need to insert this row in dynamic cache.
Yes.
So it's a new row. So the value will be 1 in new lookup row. Now third case is 101 के corresponding सलीम आया. इस केस में क्या होगा? 101 के corresponding already data है dynamic cache में. In this case, the value returned by new lookup row will be 2. It means integration service will update the row which is already present in cache.
Yes.
आई होप समझ में आ गया होगा. काफी टफ कॉन्सेप्ट है, काफी लोगों को नहीं आता. आया समझ में?
No, yeah, I know this concept.
You know this concept? Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you already have those Informatica videos.
Yes.
Okay, great. Watch this chapter again of dynamic lookup. Okay.
Okay.
नाउ लुकअप में एक और ऑप्शन होता है परसिस्टेंट कैशे रखने का. अब इंटरव्यूअर कभी पूछ लेता है कि परसिस्टेंट कैशे क्या होता है. सो लेट सपोज एक कंडीशन अज्यूम करो कि आपकी कंट्री में बहुत सारे स्टेट्स हैं, हर स्टेट के कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग जिप कोड्स हैं. अब जिप कोड्स तो चेंज नहीं होते रोज, फिक्स रहते हैं, राइट? तो आप ये इंफॉर्मेशन मल्टीपल प्लेसेस पर यूज कर सकते हो.
Yes.
So the situation in which the lookup source does not change between session runs, we can improve this improve the performance of our sessions by creating persistent cache for the source.
Okay.
जब सेशन फर्स्ट टाइम रन होगा तब persistent cache पॉपुलेट हो जाएगी और उसके बाद अपडेट नहीं होगी.
Okay.
Then the integration services creates the cache files and saves them to the disk instead of cache itself.
Okay.
अच्छा, उस केस में क्या होगा? मान लो एक बार आपने स्टेट और जिप कोड स्टोर कर लिया अपनी टेबल में, वो एक बार कैशे में स्टोर हो गया, आपका सेशन कंप्लीट हो गया, आपने दूसरा सेशन रन किया. दूसरे सेशन में फिर आपको न्यूयॉर्क के कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग जिप कोड चाहिए. तो व्हाट आर द एक्टिविटीज दैट आर गोना बी परफॉर्म्ड? सो इन दिस केस द कैशे विल नॉट बी रीबिल्ड, इट विल यूज द ऑलरेडी बिल्ड कैशे. So whenever the next time the session will run, the integration services builds the memory from cache file itself. उसी पुराने कैशे को यूज करके हम न्यूयॉर्क के कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग जिप कोड उठाएंगे और रिटर्न कर देंगे. So this will save overhead of IO, input output. अच्छा, कुछ सिचुएशंस ऐसी होती है कि हम एक कैशे शेयर क्यों नहीं कर लें. So we can configure multiple lookup transformations in a mapping to share a single lookup cache. In this case, integration services builds the cache when it processes the first lookup transformation, and then it uses the same cache to perform lookup for subsequent lookup transformations, जो भी उस particular cache को share कर रहे हैं. कैश का बहुत डिटेल हो गया. एक और कॉन्सेप्ट है व्हाट इज अननेम्ड कैश एंड नेम्ड कैश. राइट इट डाउन एंड गूगल इट. ओके,
Say again.
नेम्ड कैश एंड अननेम्ड कैश. अच्छा, अब एक क्वेश्चन पूछता है इंटरव्यूअर कि व्हाट हाउ कैन वी इंप्रूव द परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ ए गिवन लुकअप ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन.
ओके,
इसका आंसर मैंने दिया था, आपको याद है तो आप मुझे बताओ, वरना मैं बताता हूँ.
याद नहीं है.
So first option is to create an index on the columns which are used in lookup conditions. Second way of improving the performance is placing the conditions in equality operator first. So it will filter out most of the rows. Third is we will always cache the smaller tables. Fourth is we will join the tables in database itself. If the force and the lookup table are in same database, we will join the tables in database rather than having a lookup on them. Next is what we just discussed is we'll use persistent cache for those static lookups. Next is we will avoid using order by in our SQL query overrides. और इसके अलावा ये तो हो गया रिलेशनल में है. तब अगर फ्लैट फाइल पे लुकअप कर रहे हैं तो we'll provide stored files as lookup source. Okay. Okay, Mirza, this is about some interview questions that I listed down. I'll list on more and we'll discuss them. Okay.
Okay.
Meanwhile, if you have some questions, you can go ahead and ask them.
No, not right now. Let me study it today, and then I'll discuss with you tomorrow. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
And by